Good morning, children. Today, we are moving on to the second chapter of your history textbook. From Trade to Territory, the company establishes power. In this chapter, we are going to analyze how did Britishers establish their power in India. Initially, the Britishers came to India to do trade, but later they became the masters of India. How did it happen? Let's see. The arrival of English East India Company to India. English East India Company was a mercantile trading company that aims at higher profit through trade by buying goods at cheap and selling them at higher price. When East India Company came to our country, India was under the Mughal rulers. Aurangazeb was the last powerful Mughal ruler of India. He died in 1707. Till he was alive, the Britishers were not at all involved in any of the commercial activities other than establishing their trade centers. But after the death of Aurangazeb in 1707, there was no powerful ruler to succeed him. So, after his death, we have seen the growing of the Britishers' power day by day. In 1600, English East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I. So, who was the ruler of England at that time? Queen Elizabeth I. This charter granted the East India Company the sole right to trade with the eastern countries. This meant that no other trading group in England could compete with East India Company. But this charter could not prevent other European powers from entering the eastern markets. But before the arrival of the English East India Company, the Portuguese had already established their presence in India. Do you know? It was Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer who had discovered the sea route to India in 1498. So, who had discovered the sea route to India? The Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama in 1498. In the later years, the Dutch and the French traders arrived in India. But these European traders only wanted to buy and sell goods. So what did the problem lies? The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same thing. The fine qualities of cotton and silk produced in India had a big market in Europe. Pepper, cloves, cardamom and cinnamon too were in great demand. And this led to severe competition among European companies at that time. Severe competition among these European traders ultimately led to fierce battles between them. Through the 17th and 18th centuries, they regularly sank each other's ships, blockaded routes, and prevented rival ships from moving with supplies of goods. During this time, trade was carried with arms. It means the traders, they started to keep weapons in their ships to defend themselves. And they also started to fortify their settlements. Fortification means building huge defensive walls and put an army for the security of that particular area. This effort of fortification of their settlements ultimately led to conflict with local rulers. Let's revise today's topic. Aurangazeb was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers. In 1707, after his death, the Britishers slowly and gradually grew in India and they became the masters of India. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer who had discovered the sea route to India in 1498. The Portuguese were the first Europeans who came to India. They established their presence in the western coast of India and had their base in Goa. In 1600, the East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I, granting it the sole right to trade with the East. By early 17th century, the Dutch and the French also arrived on the scene. All the companies were interested in buying the same things such as cotton and silk, pepper, cloves, cardamom and cinnamon, which created competition and ultimately reduced the profits that could be earned. To secure markets, therefore, led to fierce battles between the trading companies. Let me conclude today's session. I hope all of you have understood the content clearly. For your reference, I have uploaded the URL. Go through it. Notes are also attached along with this. Take it down. A test question paper is also there. Try it yourself. Thank you.